Hey everybody, today is day 5 of Heartcore 24, where I am going to go live for 24 days and give you my heart each time that I come out. So today I'm like hours and hours earlier than I have been. I'm usually coming on at 10 o'clock or later. And I'm gonna be totally honest, one of the reasons I'm coming on earlier today is because yesterday, my kids and I were scrolling through Facebook and one of my live videos came up and my daughter saw the video and said, you know, you really should start doing them earlier and then you won't be as tired and exhausted. And I thought, wait a minute, who said I was tired and exhausted? And she's like, no. She meant it and it was true. And so, you know, I always tell my kids honesty is the best policy. And then sometimes I was like, I really didn't need that little nugget of truth. Thank you very much. But in honoring her truth, I decided I would come on hours earlier today. I'm not sure how much this improves my tired and exhausted look, but hopefully it helps a little bit. I mean, I'm not much of a, I know hair and makeup needs some work, but it's not 10 o'clock and maybe in the under eye department, this is a little bit of an improvement. So that's kind of the talk I wanted to have today, is about honesty. We beg our kids for it, we ask our spouses for it, and we even say that we're honest, you know, and usually we're honest with our words, but how deep does that go? And when we're asking people to be honest with us, how much of their honesty can we really handle? Because sometimes we want the truth, but we want it in a way that we can handle it or accept it at the moment, or we want the truth the way we think it is. You know, we want to hear somebody's truth reflect our own, but it's not always like that. So when you're talking about honesty, it's a really important discussion to ask yourself, how honest are you being with yourself? You know, are you using words to really describe your innermost truth? Or are you saying something because it's about right, but if somebody were to really dig deep, they'd see that that's not your most honest feeling inside your heart? And we're all guilty of it, and it's okay. I think we give each other grace for doing the best that we can. But I think it's a really important conversation because I think so much of that is tied to our accomplishments and what we're brave enough to kind of set out to do. Because we have a story in our head and sometimes that story doesn't match the honest truth that's going on. But it's just a safer story, or it's a story that sounds better and you think it'll make a bigger impression in the world. And I think that the more we crack open our expectations of what others, okay, a squirrel just flung off the bird feeder. The more we get honest with ourselves and say, why aren't you showing up? Or why are you resisting? You know, why are you at a job that doesn't make you happy? Why are you in a marriage that is passionless? Why? And then when we answer the question, to not make it a superficial answer that everyone just wants to hear and it sounds good and it's perfectly packaged. But if you can't be honest with yourself when no one's around, then certainly the words we speak in the presence of others is going to be even less honest, right? Because if we can't admit to ourselves what we want, what we lack, what we need, what we don't have, then we're not going to feel secure enough to share that with others. And we've got to break the barrier. I've got to break the barrier of letting my honesty be limited by what that'll mean to the outside world. You know, well, if I tell the truth, if I say that I'm scared, then people won't trust me, or people won't feel like my words have impact. No, that's a bullshit story. That's not real. The truth is that people want you to speak your truth, which gives them permission to speak their own. The more authentic you are with someone, we've all done it. We've been at a party, we walked into the room, we've met different strangers or different people, and you automatically know when you engage in conversation with someone and you talk to person A over here and they're putting on a whole show and you're like, phony, not real, not feeling connected to you. And then you turn around and you have a conversation with person B over here, and they're like really sharing their heart, and you get to know them and you feel like you're really inside their soul. And then that feels like a good connection, because at the end of the day, I think that's what matters most. I think you show up in your truth, and it doesn't mean it matches someone else's truth. What it means is that you're honoring your honesty, right? You're willing to say at all costs, you know, that's what I came on here to do. I came on here for 24 days of lives because I was honest about the fact that now that I have to run an online business, I'm a little terrified of being live and what that means, and having to confront the validation of others, having to confront the judgment of others. That's the truth. Now, is it easy to say and admit? No. Does it feel great to say, hi, I really worry about your opinion, and sometimes your opinion makes me not act on what I want to do because I'm afraid of judgment. No one wants to admit that. I'm 45 years old, and I feel like sometimes I should have outgrown some of these things. But it is my truth, it is my honesty, and when I speak it, I give other people who feel the same way permission to come out and say, hey, that's me, I feel the same way as you. Because that's what made me brave enough for this, is watching other people stand in their truth and honesty and say, this is what's real about me, this is what's true. But I think, you know, we say to our children, I know the way I hopped on here is the perfect example. My daughter was honest. She was like, you're doing these lives too late and you look tired. And it was not easy to hear. I know she's right, but I didn't want to hear that, because now I was like, great, all these Facebook lives that went out to the Facebook world and I look tired, that sucks. But I can't ask for the truth and then when I get it, run away from it. I have to face it and go, you're right, I'm going to do these a little earlier. I'm going to try a little harder. And I'm going to honor the honesty, because I knew it was true. You know, it felt, you know, when someone says something, you know how deeply it resonates with you. And that's an indication of the level of truth you're getting, the level of honesty that's being communicated to you, the level of authenticity. So that being said, if you have any golden nuggets of truth that you would like to share with me, kindly share with me, I'll take it. Because part of this 24-day experience is being open to everything. We can't just say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be brave and I'm going to start a business and I'm going to write a book and I'm going to work on my marriage. I'm going to do all the things to improve on my life. But as soon as it gets uncomfortable or scary, I'm going to change my mind and go back. You have to evolve or repeat. That's what ends up happening. You either say it is now is the time, and so I'm going to evolve into this next level of myself in a small way. My evolution right now is confronting judgment and opinions of others. That's my evolution. Now, if I chose that I was getting some feedback that was negative and people said, well, I don't like your hair, you do look really tired, you do look old, I would have to embrace that, because even though it's not what I want to hear, that is someone's truth. That is someone sharing their honesty with me, because I opened the door and I said, hey, be honest, tell me what you think. So once you do that, you have to be ready for the good and the bad. You can't just have it one way. But there's growth in that. So when you say, okay, here it comes, let me have it. What do you think of my thoughts? What do you think of my what I'm saying? What do you think of anything about me? And then you leave that door wide open and you feel secure that no matter what is said, you stand in your grounded alignment. I am in a better place now. Had I done this about 4 years ago and said to the world, hey, tell me what you think, I'm going to be brave and not care about your opinions, and I'm open to you judging me in any way, I would have collapsed. It would have probably been the straw that broke the camel's back, and it would have cracked me, because I was not confident. So if anyone had said anything negative, it would have hurt, and I probably would have had trouble moving past it. But I'm in a different place now. I'm in a place where I'm testing my confidence. If I talk a big game, that I'm in a confident place, that my inner dialogue is heightened. I'm saying nice things to myself now. I love myself so much more. If that's true, and if I'm being honest, then I could be 100% authentic with the people I love or with all of Facebook world. It doesn't matter who. I could share who I am, raw and real, and late at night pretty, not pretty, or early in the morning kind of pretty, or whatever this is going on right now, and say, okay, I'm gonna get feedback that might be good or not good, but at the end of the day, I am Linda, and I am strong, and I am smart and beautiful, and I'm doing things in my life that matter to me, that are changing the trajectory, that are causing me to go towards my dreams, and so I can handle it. And I might even learn something about myself. Sometimes you learn more about the negative feedback you get about yourself than the positive, because I could blow sunshine up your butt all day long, and I probably would, because I'm really good at seeing the good in people. But sometimes it's when you get triggered, it's when somebody says something that's like, oh, I didn't need to hear that right now. But it's a reflection of where we feel weak within ourselves. And so it's those moments when I hear things that make me kind of jolt a little bit. Those are the things I think about, not because I'm focused on the negative. That's not it. It's because I'm questioning, like, why did that affect me so deeply? If someone says to me, you're stupid, I probably won't perseverate over that, because that is not an inner belief of mine. I don't have that belief about myself. So I respectfully allow you to speak your truth, and then I dismiss it. I just don't invest in that. But if you were to say something like, I think you could be a little bit more articulate, or I think you need to be more organized in your thoughts, I might take that into consideration. I might deeply think about that, because that is a limiting belief of myself. That is a concern of mine. I always worry if I'm concise enough or articulate enough. So if you were to reflect that back to me, I would probably take that deeply. Do you see what I mean? And so honesty, unfortunately, is relative, because my truth and your truth may be different. So when you say, tell me the truth, be clear. Are you saying, tell me your truth, or reflect to me my truth? It's not the same thing. There's no like 100% honest box. And it's like, oh, you know, here's the honesty bag, and if it's not in here, you're not telling the truth. It's perspective, it's life experience. If I tell you my truth, it's real to me, it's honest to me. You may not connect with that information. So we just need to be more authentic, more real, and we need to allow people to express their opinions. Obviously, if we're in a place to be able to handle it, but if you open up Pandora's box and say, share, tell me what you think, then be open to all the possibilities of what that means. Hi, Regina. Oh my goodness. I always thought and think that you are awesome. I love your spirit and energy, and I'm not lying. That is your truth. And guess what? I choose to believe that truth because I think those things about myself. You know, I do honor my energy, and I honor my spirit, and I am a flawed human being just like the rest of you. But I know where my strengths lie, and you know, I used to not be able to receive compliments, but now I'm in a place where I'm like, yeah, I'm vivacious and I'm energetic. I know I'm also a pain in the butt, and I'm pretty like passionate, and that's a double-edged sword. Sometimes to some people, passionate is amazing, and sometimes to people, my husband, it's not always like the best thing. But either way, that is my conversation of the day. That is my talk from the heart. I hope that this message affected you in some way, whether you laugh at me, whether you think it's funny, whether you think it's amazing, whether it makes you question honesty in your own life and how you speak truthfully to yourself. If you had any kind of feelings, I hope that you share it with me. I hope that you give me the feedback I'm here seeking from you. And that's it. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I can't say week because I'm going to see you tomorrow. I'm going to stalk you and be on here every day annoying your Facebook feed until the 28th of September. And then I'll be so comfortable doing Facebook Lives that I'll probably do it every day. So yay, if you're my friend on Facebook. That was sarcasm. Okay, I love you so much. Have an awesome, blessed day full of light and love, guys. I'll talk to you soon.